Hello, all you beautiful people. How you guys doing? So, for today's video, I'm gonna talk about the fact that like some 4-star characters and 5-star characters, it doesn't really make sense for them to be a 4 or 5-star character, like lore-wise, like how strong this character would actually be. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. I made 3 little sections here. We got 5-star characters, 4-star characters, and then I have 5 or 4. That middle section is mostly about characters that I have like either limited knowledge of, or I can like kind of see it like 50-50. We'll kind of go into it as we go. All right, let's start it off with good old Beto here. I think it makes sense for him to be a 5-star personally. Albedo, great scientist. He's also a synthetic human. He has that whole backstory about he would eventually destroy Mondstadt, so I think he has some hidden strength there. And of course, his His kit includes his own creations. He's a scientist, so I think it makes sense for him to be a 5-star character. Like strength-wise, I think that just makes sense to me. All right. Aloy. I actually don't know what Aloy. Does Aloy count as 5-star? I think Aloy is counted as 5-star. I don't know anything about this character, so I'm just gonna put her in the middle. I just don't know anything about her. I don't know if she should be really included, but we'll include her, whatever. All right, Amber next. Makes sense. She's like one of the best adventurer outriders, whatever. There's nothing really amazing about her. She's good at what she does, but she doesn't do anything super duper amazing, so I think making Amber a 4-star, that just makes sense. All right, the next one though, very interesting here. We have Ayaka. Now Ayaka, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything like she's done that's like super insane. Like we're talking about like feats and things like that. If we're talking about like combat and stuff like that, I think she has those Kamisato arts. So, like, are those arts, like, really good that I put it on 5-star? Cause we're just talking about, what is it? We're talking mostly about lore here. We're talking about lore, not really about, like, gameplay. Like, obviously, gameplay-wise, she would be 5-star. But if we're just talking about lore, maybe I just don't know enough. I'm kind of wanting to put her down here just because, I don't think she has many, like, incredible feats or anything like that. But it depends how strong those Kamisato arts are. Like, if they are, like, really powerful, like, ancient techniques that can, like, do some crazy stuff, I'll put her at 5. But if it's just, like, it's just a battle technique that they just all learn, all the Kamisato learn, then I'll just put her at 4. Alright, next one. We got Barbara here. I think putting Barbara at 4, that's completely fine. She's a priest. She's an idol at the church. She does healing. Her healing's pretty good, but it's nothing like world-changing, super groundbreaking or anything. It's good, though. It's good. It's really good, really solid. So 4-star. There's nothing wrong with 4-stars, by the way. Like, even the lore-wise we're talking about, like, these people are still, like, out of the ordinary, crazy people. Again, just really good at what they do. Alright, the next one we have here, Beto. Beto, I think definitely 4-star, and let me tell you why. She defeated, what is the name of it? Haishan. Haishan was a Leviathan, like those big, like, giant water serpent things. She defeated that without a vision. Not even any vision, she defeated that. She was notorious for killing a bunch of sea beasts. Pirate captain, very strong, very capable. Definite 5-star. She's got the strength for it. She has the feats for it. I think 100% makes sense. 5-star. Honestly, even gameplay wise, she feels like a 5-star sometimes. Okay. Next up, we got Bennett here. Gameplay wise, 6-star for sure. But I think lore wise, 4-star makes sense. Benny's adventure team. Just includes him. He's very capable, super bad luck. But he, considering how much bad luck he has, it's very respectable that he's alive. Maybe, honestly, you could make a maybe argument for, like, maybe 5-star if you could say that, like, he's gone through all this crap and he's still alive. Maybe that's good enough to be, like, 5-star in terms of lore. But nothing, like, super crazy he's done. Like, he's made it out of some life threatening situations for sure, but he's never like on top. He's always just like barely making it out. So I definitely think 4-star. All right, next up, Chongyong, exorciser of demons. I don't know too much about him. I know he's like an exorcist. I know he has things about like, his yang energy. I'm looking up some lore here. An exorcist who roams the land of Lie with as his base of operations. Evil spirits fleeing wherever he goes. Heir to the clan of exorcists. He has always possessed abilities superior to most. However, these abilities are not the result of training, but an inborn trait. Okay, I think that sounds like 4-star. He's good at what he does. He's a really good exorcist. Ability superior to most, but they're not his own. Yeah, okay, not his own. Maybe if he made them his own, he could get to 5-star, but I think 4 makes sense. All right. Diluc. Diluc is an interesting case. Very, very strong. Very, very strong individual. But does it go beyond? You know what I mean? Like, does it go beyond what just a general capable person can do? Let me see what the game says here. As the wealthiest gentleman Mondstadt, the ever dapper Diluc presents himself as epitome of perfection. Behind the he has sworn to protect Mondstadt at all costs, allowing him to mercilessly vanquish all those who threaten the city. Maybe I just haven't brushed up on my Diluc lore. Oh, he did have that stint with the delusion too. He had that whole story with that, and he is quite strong. Like, you know what? I'm between these two right now just because I feel like I lack the knowledge. But considering what other characters say about him and think about him in Mondstadt, definitely I think, he deserves this spot. Maybe he could be put down here. Well, this is more like just lack of knowledge. Maybe he could be put down here. People are just like, yeah, he hasn't done too many feats. But yeah, this is mostly how characters kind of call him and perceive him. Yeah, we'll put him here. Okay. Next up, we have Deona. I don't think she has really anything out of the ordinary. Her character is mostly about the fact that she has that good bad luck thing where she is cursed / blessed to make the best drinks ever. Yeah, I don't think. Popular bartender, feisty feline, any mixed drink by Deona tastes delicious. Yeah, nothing really combat related, so 4. Okay, nothing crazy there. Alright, Eula. Her thing with the clan, the Lawrence clan, the reconnaissance captain for the Knight of Favonius. But are there any crazy feats that she's done? Is there anything like super crazy that she's done? A rebellious descendant of the old aristocracy, born carrying the bloodline, she needed unique approach. The outstanding Spindrift Knight, she hunts down Mondstadt's enemies in the wild to exact her unique revengeance. It's either here or down here. I think I have some lack of knowledge, but I don't recall anything about like her strength, her prowess. Her story is more about like, her character, her background, and things like that. So I don't think anything out of the ordinary. All right. Yan Fei. Another character where their character is kind of just mostly about, okay, what can this character do? How good is this character at their job, which is essentially being a lawyer or legal advisor, whatever. She is Adepti. Adepti just means you're generally stronger, just among the characters of Genshin Impact. But is that enough to be a 5-star? I don't think so. Like, I don't think any of her feats or anything crazy has like ordinate. So we're putting down here. Okay. We had this for a pretty long while. We had to speed it up here. There's quite a few characters. Rather, Chernobyl here twice. Okay, official. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. She has a vision. She got her powers. She's very eccentric, very chumbun, whatever how you say that name. Sure, yeah, 4-star makes sense. Ganyu, secretary, adepti. She is Adepti, right? She is Adepti, meaning she is above average, human capabilities. But that's really all I've heard about her. I don't think she has any, like, crazy battle feats or anything like that. I think she's just, like, probably just really good, has generically good powers because she is Adepti. But maybe here... Oh, it's further. I'm gonna take Alloy out as well. It feels weird to just see her there. Okay. Next we have Goru. Goru is I forgot his role. What was it? It was, I know it's something for Watatsumi Army. Yeah. He's a general. Okay, he's the general of Watatsumi. General what? Yeah, the Watatsumi army. No crazy feats or anything like that. 4-star makes sense. Okay, Hu Tao. Hu Tao, Hu Tao, Hu Tao, Hu Tao. Definitely 5-star gameplay wise. We're talking about lore here. Director of Funeral Parlor. Would that mean you have like crazy, combat capabilities or like superpowers or anything like that? She does flawlessly carry out person's last right and preserve the world's balance. She is also a talented poet with many masterpieces, have passed her in leeway, populous by word of mouth. Yeah, I don't think anything crazy combat-wise or anything crazy power-wise, so I think 4-star makes sense. Alright, Arataki Ito, the one and Oni. Alright, I think 4-star here. Oni, just in general, again, same thing like Adepti, they're like above humans in terms of just like general strength and everything like that. And Arataki Ito puts that to very good use. He is very strong. He is capable of a lot. That recent event quest, we saw what he's kind of really capable of, just straight up punching holes through like cave mountains, and like, yeah, what he's actually capable of is definitely super crazy, and honestly probably holds himself back when it comes to fighting humans. Yeah, what the Oni are capable of is insane, and he is really, really strong himself. I know he gets beat down by Sarah a lot, but Sarah's pretty good too. I think Sarah's got some good combat powers herself. But yeah, Arataki Ito, the one and Oni. I think I'm gonna put him in 5-star. All right, Kaya, very capable. Very capable knight, the Knights of Favonius. Has he done anything super crazy though? I don't know about that. Knight Favonius, Kai's most trusted aide in the for the acting Grandmaster. Always count on him to solve problems. Everyone in Mondstadt love Kaya, but no one knows what secrets his witty, charming knight has. Yeah, I don't think he's done anything super crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments. Next up, Kaidehara Kazuha. Really good swords master. Temporary crewmate of the Crux. He knows, what is it? I think it's called the Kaidehara something. It's like ancient sword techniques. How powerful is it? I know he had a whole quest about that, and he was like using that sword, and they were talking about their sword techniques. Is it above average? Is it like superhuman? This is another one. I think this is another one that goes kind of the middle here. It's the same kind of concept. I don't know the lengths that the Kaidehara arts go, right? I don't know how like strong they are. Does it make you like superhuman? Obviously, again, in gameplay, he is definitely superhuman. But yeah, I'm just not sure. Okay. Alright, here we have Ketching, the Yuhong of the Liu Chising. All of her lore is more about, like, characters, interactions, that whole story about, like, humans should be the one to lead, instead of, like, humanity's future should be determined by humans. Like, that's her whole thing. That's kind of what she focuses on. I don't think there's anything crazy lore-wise about what she's capable of combat-wise. I don't think. So I'm going to put her down here at 4. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, next up, Klee. Good old Klee. Honestly, I think her spot makes sense. The true terror that Klee brings wherever she goes, just by playing around. Like, she's not really being serious about really anything she's done. She's just playing around with her explosives, and she still does crazy things and is very capable, especially considering at her age. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. So I think it makes sense for her to be 4-star, considering how much the characters talk about all all the ruckus and things that she causes. And it's not like tiny little things. She will just start blowing things. She starts fish blasting and blowing up fish everywhere. Like, I think she's pretty strong. I actually think she's quite strong. I think her explosives are very, very capable. I think Alice helped make those, and Alice is a very capable person. Above average, definitely, things like that. I think it makes sense. I think this definitely makes sense. All right. We got the fish, and I ain't talking about Fischl. We got Kokomi. I almost forgot Kokomi's name. Here we go. Sangomiya Kokomi. Divine priestess of Watatsumi Island and descendant of the Sangomiya clan, in charge of Watatsumi's affairs. But anything about what she's capable of, like combat-wise. Divine priestess, supreme leader, art of war, good at strategizing, military affairs, adept at handling domestic affairs. Her leadership is definitely above average. Well, sure, I don't want to talk about that. That's a whole different topic. She kind of let her whole army got delusions in there. Anyway, nah, yeah, I don't think there's anything above average or like super crazy that she's done so far. Maybe she is capable. Maybe her healing capabilities are kind of above average. I don't know the lore about her healing capabilities. If they're like world-bending, world-shaking healing capabilities, only she can do this stuff, I would put her up here. Maybe I should put her in the middle there? Maybe I should put her in the middle then. I don't know the capabilities of her healing. Is healing even part of her lore? Is that just kind of like a gameplay thing that they just happen to do? I'm not sure 100%. I think if those healing capabilities are world-breaking stuff, like it's super crazy, I put her up here. But yeah. Alright, next up we got Lisa. This character is an interesting one, because I think if she put her all into what she was doing combat-wise, easy 5-star. Considering like the lore about this character and how capable she is, I think what she was known to be like the smartest of her time or things like that. But she's just a librarian. I think she just wants to chill out and just like do what she wants to do. Intellectual witch who can never get enough naps. Librarian, she is smart and always knows exactly what to do. So she sleeps and manages to keep everything under control. Like, she has that whole thing about when she gets angry when people don't bring back books. Like, it gets super duper crazy. The whole, like, like when she gets angry, everybody stay away from her, things like that. Like, even her E, right, lore-wise, her E makes the whole sky turn purple with lightning so she can zap people. But I think her demeanor maybe keeps her as a 4-star in game. So I'm going to put her in the middle, not for a lack of knowledge, but for the idea that if she put her all into it, she could definitely be 5-star, but her personality and who she is and what she wants to do is kind of holding her back. So yeah, we'll just kind of slap her in the middle there. Alright, Mona, genius astrologer, very capable at astrology, really good at it. She can tell the future kind of things and what people are thinking and how things are working and how things are going on without even looking at it. But we're mostly talking about combat here, and I don't know combat-wise how capable or not capable she is. Let me see here. Astrologist with knowledge and high pride, settled in Mondstadt. Yep. Mysterious young astrologer is proclaimed to suffer astrologer Mona Magistus. Possesses abilities to match. Who possesses abilities to match the title? Stratford Cass lives in Thrift. She's very good at what she does, and she's very capable of what she does. But does that translate to combat? I don't think so. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I just don't think they translate to combat. I just don't think so. Okay, Ningguang, another character, just very capable at what they do. When people can come to her, Ningguang, they're coming to Ningguang for knowledge, right? They're not coming to her for strength. They're talking about knowledge of just like, will my business go well? Can you give me tips about this? Where's the economy gonna go? Etc. Very good at what she does. Very good at making profit. Absolutely intelligent. But we're talking about combat, right? Combat-wise, I think she's going down to 4-star. I think it makes sense for her to be a 4-star, even though she is a very capable person. She is the boss of a lot of 5-stars in the game, which is really funny. But if we're talking about combat here, right? I think it makes sense for her to be 4-star. Noelle, knight in training, also a maid. Does her best at everything. Nothing out of the ordinary or super. No, actually, she's a little bit superhuman. Actually, when we think about the lore about this character and what other people say what she's capable of, it's a little bit above superhuman, but not like super duper crazy. So we'll put her in this spot. Excuse me. We're putting it down here too. Nothing to say that she's bad. She's not bad at anything. All the 4-stars are absolutely insane people, and it's insane what they're capable of. But it's not like crazy like some of these up here. All right. Jean, the acting grandmaster, temporary leader of the knights right now. She has to be very capable, right? I just don't know what really all her feats are, I guess. That's like the main thing. I just don't know what her feats are, like what she's really capable here. Acting Grandmaster, maintaining peace. She does keep Klee in check, which I guess is a good thing. You know, we need more 5-star. We're gonna put her up here. We're gonna put Jean up here. Acting Grandmaster. She has a high position in the Knights. That has to be really good. She seems very capable, very hardworking. She's probably great in combat. You know, yeah. This makes sense. Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is dead. Yeah, I don't think there's anything crazy about Chi-Chi. She's a cool character. I think a lot of people like her. She's a zombie. She is Adepti. That is true. She is Adepti, which means she has above average, human capabilities. But I don't think she does anything crazy combat-wise. So we'll put Chi-Chi down here. All right, Razor. Raised by raised by wolves. I think Jean also taught him some elemental stuff. Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool guy, but I don't think he does anything super crazy. He's definitely above, if we're talking about just like the average human, he's above capable comparing to them. But if we're talking about in the wider world of just like vision users or everything like that, I don't think he does anything that crazy. Kind of same with Rosaria. Works for the church. I don't think she does anything super above and beyond. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong about that, but we're gonna slap her down here too. All right, Sarah. Sarah is a very interesting case. Another one of these instances of a character that just does really well at kind of just what they do, but she has taken out an Oni in combat. You know, Kujo Sarah, good old Kujo Sarah, take down Arataki Ito. She's very trusted by the Shogun, right? And Shogun, we know, is exceptionally strong as well. So I think that would make sense. Sarah would have to be strong too. Charismatic woman who acts swiftly as a stormwind, always honors her word. She did get beat by Senora. I guess that happened. We'll put her in the middle then. You know what? We'll put her in the middle. This seems very like, I'm not sure. I could be kind of persuaded either way because she did lose to Senora. But, you know, she beat Arataki Ito. She's very capable for sure. That means she has to have some really good combat prowess. Well, yeah, I think in the middle for now is fine. Saiyu. She is ninja. She is sleepy. She has capable skills. But I think, you know, she takes naps a lot. And I don't think she's done anything that super crazy. Maybe if she was more capable, put herself, you know, out there more with her skills, maybe she could reach 5-star, but I think 4 makes sense. Okay, Shen Hua. Shen Hua is the character that has feats. A good chunk of her story is how capable she is with her feats. She can lift things so many times her size, like a giant. What was it? It was like a giant. It wasn't a giant rock, right? It was something that was huge. She just carried the whole way through. Froze a good chunk of the ocean when a giant wave came crashing. Pretty much froze a tsunami. Yes, not even, it's her whole story is about feats and what she's capable of and how strong she is. And she's Adepti. I'm pretty sure she's Adepti too, right? So that means it's like an Adepti who like uses the best use of their just natural ability. It's like Chongyong, right? And I think they're related as well. It's like Chongyong if he like put his capabilities out to the best. Raiden Shogun, it doesn't even need to be said. Like literally, there a structure in Inazuma is a carcass of a creature she defeated, and also the landscape itself is sliced right there because of what she did with it. The Muso no Hitotachi goes on beyond legends that only Kazuha was able to block it in all the years, and he was only able to do that because he had his friend's vision with him. Like, she fought with herself for 500. She was in combat for 500 years. I don't know if any other character here is in combat for 500 years. She was in combat with herself for 500 years. Like, yeah. 6-star maybe. 12-star. I love her. She's great. For sure. Sucrose. A nice, plucky young scientist. I think she is very cool. Her experiments seem really cool. But nothing over the... nothing super duper human, so we're gonna put Sucrose down here. I really want to know more about her though. All right, child Tartaglia, definitely 5-star here. He was recruited into Fatui because he is strong. crazy thirst for battle, crazy lust to just fight people. Another reason why I joined the Fatui, right? What was it? And I think he was like fallen to the abyss for who knows how long. He had to fight out his way there. He has a unique form because of the time he was there. Like, this character is all about strength. He has so many feats. Yeah, his character. Well, a good chunk of his character is all about how strong he is. So of course, a 5-star, of course. Toma is best made. He is made. And he does a good job at that. But I don't think there's anything that crazy combat power wise. So we're gonna put him down here. Venti, one of the Archons, kind of lazy, but at the end of the day, he is an Archon, and when he does use his powers, it is some pretty crazy stuff. Overthrew a tyrannical leader and all that, and all things like that. He does get beat by Senora, so like, you know, do we put him down here? Maybe he's not as capable as some of the other like Archons. I don't know. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I think considering what the Archons are capable of, you know, with the Battle of Conria and all that stuff, I think he's really strong, but maybe it's the same situation maybe as Lisa, where he's not putting himself, like, at his best capabilities. Okay, next one we have Ling, Chef Extraordinaire, 6-star in actual gameplay, but I think capabilities-wise, what she's normally capable of, she's a good chef. She does really good at it. She's really good at it. Her stomach might be a 5-star. Oh my goodness, considering the amount of things she eats. But yeah, 4-star makes sense to me. Xiao, last of the Yakushas, my boy. Easy 5-star. Considering what this guy is capable, considering what all the Yakushas are capable of, he's the only one left. He is still really strong. He is so strong that he has to stay away from other people because of his whole karma thing. Yeah, feats across the board. Crazy stuff. Don't even need to say more. Oh, Water Boy, I can never pronounce your name. Please apologize. I apologize so much if I'm not saying this right. Xinghui? Xinghui? Xinghu? I think it's Xinghu. Ugh, it might be wrong. Anyway, what was he again? I know it's something about books, right? Yeah, he's practitioner of the Guhan clan arts, guild manager. Yeah, Commerce Guild. He's leader of the Commerce Guild. He's polite, well mannered. Nothing crazy combat wise, I don't think. I don't know how good the Guha clan arts are. I don't think it's that super crazy. Is that another like Kamisato question? I'm not sure. Alright, Shinyang, one of my favorite characters. I love her character. Rockstar extraordinaire, great character, great design. But combat-wise, I don't think it's anything that crazy. I don't think she's ever talked about her combat capabilities, like, at all. Maybe she did with the Child Quest, but yeah, I think it's just, like, she's just capable, has a vision, really good, solid. Alright. Yai Miko. I mean, a big thing about her character is that you never want to see Lady Guji's tails. If you see those tails, you didn't see those tails because you're probably dead or she probably burned it out of your eyesight. Just the genuine fear that everybody has for this character, even like personality-wise too, like what she's capable of like mentally is like super insane, but even her combat capabilities, characters talk about it, how crazy she is. I think she just kind of does her own thing, so she doesn't put herself out there combat-wise. But, again, that whole just the fear, right? The fear of seeing Lady Guji's tails, I think, would make it so... Okay, that makes sense that she's, like, above average, superhuman stuff, super capable. Yeah, makes sense to me. Yoimiya, fireworks lady. She make the good firework, and she's also pretty cool. I like her personality, very cheery, very nice to talk to. Nagadohara fireworks, but I don't think there's anything superhuman about it. I think she's really cool, and I think she's very capable, but I don't think there's anything superhuman about it. I think she just makes some cool fireworks. All right, Yoon Jun. Chinese opera extraordinaire, absolutely fantastic design. Again, same thing. I don't think there's anything super crazy about her. I think she's just very capable. She's very good at what she does. Her story is not much about her strength. It's more about what she does when it comes to like opera singing and all that stuff. She is she's skillful with the staff, and it's nothing superhuman. All right, Zhongli. I mean, again, It's the same situation as, like, we actually put them together. It's actually the same situation. I will put Beto up here too. It's the same situation of, like, you know, Raiden. Like, the landscape itself, Guying Stone Forest. Guying Stone Forest is a stone forest because he sent stones down at Osile to pin him down. Literal giant stones that he flung down. Like, yeah, this guy goes way beyond capable. His feats are talked about throughout the story in Liyue and beyond so much. He's kept so many people in check, like the Adepti, and like, yeah, very capable, very powerful, absolutely excellent. Yeah, makes sense. Zhongli up here. Yeah. Kami Sato Ayato. I think he's kind of in the same situation as his sister when we're talking about, I just really don't know how the Kamisato arts are. Like, head of the Kamisato clan. I just don't know how crazy the Kamisato arts are. I don't think there's anything really talking about like his feats or what he's super capable of. You know, they don't really talk about his combat stuff. Mostly about the Kamisato clan and how he interacts with that. Of course, gameplay wise, he's a 5-star, absolutely fantastic. Genshin Virgil. But yeah, no, it's the same situation. I just know how powerful Kamisato arts are. Kuki Shinobu. I don't know why she's here twice. Great character. I love her a lot. Yeah. Kuki Shinobu's great. Actual mommy character, mommy of the Arataki gang. I love her so much. Great character, but nothing out of the ordinary. Ninja girl. She does ninja things. But again, nothing out of the ordinary is super crazy. She's just very, very capable and very good at what she does. Next, we have Yelan. When it comes to Yelan, she's very skilled, right? She's very skilled, but is it superhuman skills? She definitely gets what she wants a lot of the time because of her skills, and part of those skills come with combat skills. Claims to work for the Ministry of Civil Affairs, non-entity, elusive, enigmatic, erratic. She claims to work for the Jiangxing Tea House. Intelligence agent collaborating with Ningguang. Man, this is the character that she's so good at what she does, but it translates very, very well to combat, like extremely well. I don't know the lengths of it though, I guess. I don't know the lengths of it. I think maybe if we see more feats, like what she's really, really capable of, like how strong she is, how capable she is combat wise, we'll put her in. I think I'm putting her in the middle for now. I'm not sure what she's omega-ly capable of, like super capable. Like who is she I need to see a list of the people she's taken down or captured or whatever. I need to see a list. Give me a list, and then then I can determine. Finally, Heizu, detective boy, got some wind powers. Again, same thing. I don't think anything out of the ordinary. I think she's just really good, really capable, and this story's not really about combat, so we're gonna put him down there in 4-star. All right, and there we go. Here we go. This is my list of characters who canonically would be 5-star characters. I feel pretty good about all of them. Maybe clean G, maybe somewhat weird. You know, it mostly kind of is from implications of like how characters like react to these characters, how infamous these two are, and what they're kind of capable of. But I'm pretty solid about them. The middle ones, I would love some information more about them. But I think a good solid chunk of these 4-stars, it makes sense because most of them are just like, their characters are not really about combat, so they wouldn't really talk about what they're capable of combat power-wise. There might be some lore about them that I just don't know about because you have to like search a little bit more about it. But I'm pretty satisfied with this. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. Tell me what you think in the comments. Are there any characters that I should put up here in 5-star? Are there any characters I should bring down from 5-star? Maybe not. You know, maybe you wanted me to bring down Klee and G. I'm not sure. Maybe in Diluc. I just don't know too much about Diluc. But I put him here just because, again, what the characters think about it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any ideas for me to do, please tell me in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.